This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
Well, let's start off in Tunisia. The country has reduced its 2020 budget deficit to 11.4% of GDP. This is after Parliament adopted a supplementary bill slashing the budget deficit from a high of 14%, which was announced earlier this month. Now, the government had come under pressure from the central bank and Parliament to cut its spending amidst the ongoing economic crisis that has seen its earnings plunge due to the COVID-19 pandemic. From Tunis, here is Adnan Shaushi with the details.
The Tunisian Finance, Planning and Development Committee of the House of People's Representatives has approved the draft supplementary finance law for the year 2020. The bill plans additional expenditure of around 8.1 billion, equivalent to $3 billion, that will be obtained by the central bank and the government compared with around 12 billion previously. Economists, however, warned that the excessive recourse to internal financing will have negative repercussions on economic balances and on the banking sector.
The state needs to control the impacts of excessive recourse to the domestic financing, which will impact macroeconomic stability, in addition to its direct and indirect effects on inflation and the total volume of refinancing. 14 billion dinars is unacceptable. The central bank's subscription to the treasury bonds will exert increased pressure on the liquidity of private banks, and SMEs and businesses will not find liquidity.
The Minister of Economy, Finance and Investment Promotion declared that the government's recourse to domestic funding is not an inflationary measure. Ali Al-Khali added that the state aims to create jobs and boost investment in the country.
Our aim is to encourage investment in many regions by supporting initiatives for launching new projects. The economy is down to unprecedented levels because of the COVID-19 pandemic that has hit all sectors. We'll provide resources to cushion the blow to small and medium-sized enterprises.
A wave of protests has erupted in Tunisia over worsening economic and social crisis. The Secretary General of the Labour Union held a meeting with Prime Minister Hisham Meshishi to discuss the current economic situation and to calm protests.
The social tension is growing in many regions due to the economic crisis. This requires a clear vision by boosting investment and development. The state needs to send a positive message to all citizens nationwide. Tunisians deserve a better economy and a better life.
The National Institute of Statistics recorded a 10% decline in Tunisia's GDP growth at the end of September 2020 compared to the same period in 2019. This decline is associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, which has impacted all the sectors of the Tunisian economy. The Central Bank of Tunisia has urged the government to implement structural economic and social reforms in order to improve the economic situation. Experts say the state must put in place clear measures to revive economic activity. Adnan Shaushi, CGTN, Tunis.